Hey there, Jake here from CVP. We've been using the Nikon ZR for a few months now, and in today's video I want to go over 10 thoughts that we've had during our time filming with the camera and talk through some common discussion points that we've been having with our customers. But before we get into the video, I just want to thank our sponsor, us. Did you know that you can buy most of the kit you see in this video and loads of other cine, video and photo equipment on our website? We sell and ship globally, so if you've been eyeing up a new bit of kit, please use the links in the description as it really helps us keep doing these videos. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Anyway, let's get into it. The first thing that I instantly loved when I got my hands on the ZR for the first time has to be its built-in monitor. It is a massive 4-inch panel with a resolution of roughly 2216 by 1385. It covers the full DCI-P3 color space and has a peak brightness of 1000 nits. These are some seriously good specifications for a camera of this size and price, and actually using it is brilliant. Even outside in brighter conditions, it works really well. Going from using the ZR's monitor to other mirrorless cameras with smaller ones just makes them feel that little bit smaller. I think for a lot of people, the built-in monitor on the ZR will be more than enough, which may mean you don't need to use an external one. I wish more video-focused mirrorless cameras had a monitor like this built in. One thing that frustrates us when shooting with the ZR, especially as we are so used to shooting with RED cameras, is the exposure tools. They are just so limited compared to other camera systems at the moment. Nikon have improved the exposure tools in the ZR with their latest firmware though, where in R3D there is now a red line on both the waveform and histogram tool, which shows you when you are clipping. This is a helpful update, but given how fantastic RED's exposure tools are in their cameras, I would love to see some of their tools come over to the Nikon ZR. It also has a zebra tool, but for some reason Nikon uses 8-bit values for their zebras instead of IRE. So here are the numbers I would set these to for properly exposing. Up next is the image quality this camera can capture. And for this, we can partly thank the RED color science and R3D NE RAW format. Obviously with the ZR having RED branding on it, it has some RED goodness inside. And as soon as I got the rushes from our first shoot with the ZR into Resolve, it was immediately apparent that the ZR has some RED DNA. The colour and detail in R3D is excellent and matches surprisingly well to RED's other systems. It's really quick to get a nice looking image in post, as you can use the exact same RAW parameters as RED systems. This is even the same when shooting NRAW now, which is great. It has solid dynamic range and a nice fast sensor, which also helps add to its image quality. But the killer features here are the RED NE format, 6K resolution and colour science. The 6K RAW is by far the best looking format out of the bunch currently, but we are hoping that this is something that Nikon can change with bringing the compressed formats up closer to R3D quality. In our initial video on the ZR, we detailed how much of a difference the image was in the compressed formats, and since then plenty of people have documented online the difference. And honestly, at the moment, it's usable, but if you want to get the most out of the ZR, shooting in RAW is the way to go. This drop in image quality isn't present in the Z6 III, which this camera shares a lot with, so this has to be something that Nikon are aware of and are aiming to fix. This segues nicely into the current limited compression options for RAW and more specifically R3D. At the moment in NRAW you have 2 data rates to choose from, and in R3D you only have 1, which is the same data rate as NRAW high quality mode. Other RED cameras have a range of compression ratios to choose from, which means you can choose to shoot very compressed when you want smaller file sizes and don't need all of the extra data that comes with lower compression. On the Komodo X, if you shoot 6K 17:9 24p, these are the data rates of the different quality modes. Comparing these to the 1520 megabits per second or 190 megabytes per second of the ZR's R3D 6K, we can see just how low the ZR's compression is. I would love to see R3D quality options in the ZR, as I think it really does need it. Being able to shoot ELQ would be fantastic for so many people who don't want these massive files it currently records in R3D RAW, but still want the RED color science and RAW flexibility in post. You can shoot NRAW in both normal and high quality currently, which are 2 different compression levels, but the normal mode at 24p is still just over 100 megabytes a second. So yeah, please Nikon, give us some more compression options for R3D, it would be so good for so many people. Currently with the ZR, you cannot use the RED color science when shooting in the compressed formats, just in R3D NE. It would be great to have the ability to shoot in RED's IPP2 color science, but in the compressed modes. A system similar to the one found in RED's cameras, where you can dial in the contrast and highlight roll-off, would be amazing. This combined with improved compressed recording quality, as we mentioned earlier, would make the ZR a fast turnaround video beast. Audio is a crucial part of capturing good video, and the ZR has a pretty unique audio feature: internal 32-bit float recording. 32-bit float is great for smaller crude work as it gives you greater flexibility to adjust the gain of your audio in post, much more than other audio recording formats. This is possible to record across all the different video formats and works with the internal mics and external mics connected via the multi-shoe or 3.5mm mic input. For the market this camera is aimed at, I think this is a massive feature, as audio is something often overlooked when shooting solo, and 32-bit float is just a bit of safety if you're shooting in fast-paced environments. Also, if you're wanting to get a top mic for the ZR, I'd recommend checking out the MED10, which can capture some great sounding audio and connects to the camera via the multi-shoe and has a range of different pickup patterns. I think this next point could be seen as a pro or a con, but the camera's physical design can be great for video shooting or awful depending on how you like using your camera and plan on configuring this one. I think out of the box it's incredibly compact and can make a lovely travel camera, but I think it does need some rigging to make it a more usable video camera. I think if you're wanting to use it really stripped back, just handheld, an optional grip or a cage from SmallRig or Tilter makes it a more regular mirrorless camera form factor. And then if you want to use it in a more regular video or cine config, there's loads of different ways you can rig it up and accessories you can get to make it work for a range of different shooting situations. I've put some key accessories for the ZR down in the description below. The Nikon Z lens mount found on the ZR and Nikon's other mirrorless cameras is an incredibly versatile and powerful one. You have an excellent selection of Nikon lenses available that range from clean, sharp optics to more characterful and smaller lenses. The short flange depth of just 16mm though means you can adapt a huge range of lenses onto it. This includes all the standard ones you often see like PL and EF, but arguably the most interesting is Sony's E-mount lenses. This is possible with adapters like this one from Megadap. This allows you to adapt Sony E-mount lenses onto Z-mount and use them as you would on Sony's cameras. So you get full auto and manual focus, aperture control, and lens customization. The performance isn't as reliable as Nikon native lenses, but if you're one of the many people who have invested into E-mount lenses, you will be able to grab the ZR and give it a try as your primary or even B camera without having to sell and buy a whole new set of lenses. So yeah, it's a very versatile mount, and there are also plenty of third-party lenses available for it as well. The Nikon ZR is a cracking little camera, and we hope this video has helped you out understanding if it's worth looking at as your next one or not. If you want to learn more about the ZR, check out our in-depth review where we go into a lot more detail about it. And if you're interested in grabbing one for yourself, I've put links in the description below to our website. Let us know what you like and dislike about the ZR in the comments below. And to stay up to date with our upcoming content, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching.